You are always held with unconditional love. When you look up at the moon and stars, you can feel your soul's connection to the entire universe and all its beings. It's possible to make every decision with your mind, body, and spirit in total alignment and wholeness. I'm Divinely Jennifer, translating astrology and health in ways you've never experienced before so that you can choose the path that is right for you. And this is the Juicy Astrology for July 18 to July 23rd, 2021. Welcome. Hello, beauty. Are you feeling the heat? I've spoken with many people who are in the midst of a physical or emotional crisis, or both, or spiritual crisis, or all of the above. They feel themselves being pushed by the universe, and it's really uncomfortable. The energy of the heavens continues to feel very active and very activating, and that doesn't change anytime soon, not until at least early September. The good news is, by being aware of the astrology, the patterns of light within the cosmos, we are reminded that all of this energy is transitory. In other words, this too shall pass. In the meantime, we can look at what the universe is asking of us right now. Many of these transits feel like a wormhole to fast track us to where we've been wanting to go. Did you ever play the game Chutes and Ladders as a kid? These transits can either be a chute, taking us down to the depths when we've ignored or missed the lesson, or a ladder, speeding us up to new heights as reward for our hard work in overcoming our shadows, especially in relationships. It can bedazzle us and also be very disorienting to dream a dream and then watch it manifest before our very eyes. Likewise, it can be heart-wrenching to watch something we've dreamed of and worked at suddenly dematerialize, unravel, and fall apart seemingly instantly. The energy is there for both manifestation and release. So be gentle with yourself and remember that the universe always has your back. Although Venus moves into Virgo this week, bringing us some much needed healing earth energy, Vesta moves out of Earth and into Airy Libra, and the Sun moves out of water into his home sign of Leo, further emboldening us to shine our light, bring color to our lives, and lead with our heart. The full moon this week takes us back to the new moon on July 9th, as well as the new moon at 4 degrees 21 minutes of Aquarius that occurred on January 24th, 2020, just after Saturn exactly conjuncted Pluto in Capricorn, ushering in a new era of limits and restrictions to our personal power and sovereignty. Just ask our friends in Australia, who are stuck on the island, unless they're an actor, a politician, or an athlete. What was coming up for you then, though? I had just started a new job a few months earlier that I thought was my dream job. Only I discovered that my unique gifts and abilities to innovate, Aquarius, would not be valued in the way that I had hoped. Venus conjunct Neptune in Pisces at that new moon, especially after I got a new supervisor who was afraid of my vision and experience, Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. I'll talk more about the full moon when I get to the Juicy Astrology for July 23rd. As always, you don't have to guess how all this juicy astrology affects your life and your health personally. You can schedule an astrology and health reading right on my website at www.divinelyjennifer.com. And with no further ado, let's get to the Juicy Astrology for July 18th through July 24th, 2021. Please remember that all times listed are Pacific Daylight Time, so please adjust accordingly to your time zone. Sunday, July 18, 2021. The waxing moon is in Scorpio all day, where she is intuitive, secretive, intense, contemplative, and mesmerizing. She has a stressful morning, getting caught up in a T-square with Saturn and Uranus, Ugh. Scorpio moon might want to lie to avoid boundaries and restrictions. Can you truthfully innovate instead? We'll feel 2 fingers of God today. The first points to Mercury in Cancer and started on July 17, which I talked about in the Juicy Astrology for that day in my last video. It involves Juno and the South Node in Sagittarius, sextile Saturn in Aquarius, with all 3 planets in conjunct to Mercury in Cancer. Or all 3 points. South Node is not a planet, it's a point. This begs for adjustments to communication around boundaries and limits in committed partnerships. These are karmic connections, so make sure that if you separate, you have both spoken your truth with love and respect. Otherwise, you'll face the same difficult lessons in a future relationship. The second finger of God involves Venus in Leo. We'll feel the energy of it through tomorrow, July 19. We've got Pluto in Capricorn, sextile Pallas Athena in Pisces, with Venus in conjunct to both of them. Can you strategically stand in your power to express your love for yourself? This is another tough adjustment energy for relationships and finances. Take a moment to strategize so that you feel empowered and not cornered. We also have an absolutely gorgeous mystic rectangle today between Pluto in Capricorn, Pallas Athena in Pisces, the Sun in Cancer, and Vesta in Virgo. This yummy aspect pattern brings much needed earth, water, feminine, and yin energy to the stars and the cosmos. Rest, soak in healing waters, refill your own cup first. You are a sacred vessel who should never run dry. And when you do refill your cup, notice what messages and what empowerment comes to your soul and your sacred vessel. The Sun in Cancer sextile Ceres in Taurus at 2:23 a.m. They're both at 25 degrees 58 minutes. This transit encourages self-care, nurturing, fertility, and brightly shining our light at home, especially given the next transit for the day. Venus in Leo squares Ceres in Taurus at 11:57 a.m. They're both at 26 degrees and 6 minutes. Take action towards fertility and nurturing, whether financially or in relationships. Be mindful not to go overboard. There's also the possibility for some financial upheaval in the markets with this transit, especially with the moon's T-square around the same time. Rather than the energy feeling fertile, it might just feel infertile. Vesta moves into Libra at 11:27 p.m. Vesta, the goddess of home, health, and hearth, moves from Virgo, where she is very much at home, overseeing harvests and guarding the temple, to Libra. Her focus shifts more towards balance in relationships, routines, and how we can be of service to bring justice in society. Vesta will be in Libra until September 20th. Monday, July 19th, the waxing moon is in Scorpio for the morning. She encounters another tough T-square, this time with Mars and Venus in Leo and Ceres in Taurus. The moon is feeling intense, but Mars and Venus are not interested in going deep, and Ceres is just interested in a little more pleasure. The moon goes void at 9:30 a.m. at 27 degrees 13 minutes with a trine to the sun in Cancer. This is a lovely void moon. So if you need to finish anything up, it's a nice energy to do so. Just don't start anything new if you don't have to until she moves into Sagittarius at 2:07 p.m., where she releases herself from Scorpio's grip and enjoys life through adventure, optimism, foreign languages and travel, teaching and studying, and making long-term plans. At 7:51 a.m., Mercury in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. They're both at 12 degrees 55 minutes. You can speak wounding words from a place of reaction, or you can speak healing words from a place of love. You decide, and then you get to deal with the consequences. Venus continues her finger of God today with Pluto in Capricorn and Pallas Athena in Pisces. asking us to make adjustments to strategies and relationships and finances. Can you find a way to lovingly express your heart and stand in your power while still being sensitive to others? At 7:59 p.m., the Sun in Cancer then trines Pallas Athena in Pisces at the same degree where Pallas asked Venus to adjust. When we take time to process our feelings, instead of instantly reacting emotionally, we can much more easily shine our light on those we love and on our home. Go inward before striking outward. This is a lovely transit to move at a slower pace, ideally near or in healing waters. Take a soak, swim in a river, or dip your toes in the ocean while you feel into how you really want to feel. Tuesday, July 20th, the waxing moon is in Sagittarius all day. She makes her monthly conjunction to the South Node and opposition to the North Node. Start feeling into what you want to release with the full moon, especially around healing. At 2:37 a.m., Mercury in Cancer sextiles Uranus and Taurus. They're both at 14 degrees 24 minutes. There is the potential for some shocking or surprising news and aha intuitive flashes. Especially with Mercury biquintile to both Juno and the South Node in Sagittarius, you may connect the dots to find the answer you've been seeking for an intimate relationship, marriage, or partnership. Wednesday, July 21st, the waxing moon in Sagittarius is on fire this morning. She forms a grand trine with Mars in Leo and Eris in Aries, giving us courage to take bold leaps and fight for what matters to our heart. She goes void at 3:25 p.m. with a gorgeous trine to Venus in Leo, adding some love to the fires. She's only void for 11 minutes before entering Capricorn at 3:36 p.m. In Capricorn, she becomes much more serious, stoic, productive, and hardworking. At 2:07 a.m., Eris stations retrograde at 24 degrees 47 minutes of Aries. The wounded feminine backtracks to take stock of the battle. Where have you given up your sacred power? Eris is not done fighting. She's regrouping, reloading, and gathering new weapons in her fight for the divine feminine. Mars in Leo intensifies the moon's grand trine in fire when he trines Eris and Aries exactly. She's now retrograde at 5:53 a.m. There is the potential for fights and arguments with this transit. This is a great energy to get up early for strength training, especially martial arts, instead of partaking in an actual battle. The real battle happens on or around the full moon in Aries on October 20th, 2021. Mark your calendars. October 20th, 2021. On or around. There's a full moon. It's hard to know exactly what day something's going to happen, but something's going to happen. Venus enters Virgo at 5:36 p.m. This brings a big shift in the energies of relationships, love, and finances. In Leo, Venus was showy, demonstrative, affectionate, entertaining, big, bright, colorful, self-centered, non-committal, and took risks. In Virgo, she becomes more serious, dedicated, and practical. There's no BS about Venus in Virgo. She's willing to do the work, especially if she's had fun while in Leo. However, she's considered in her fall in Virgo, so if you're feeling too serious, call in the Sun in Leo to help you lighten up. Venus in Virgo is great energy to put yourself on a budget, get serious about your daily routines, and spending time with your relationships and with yourself. She has a lot of challenging, karma-filled, intense aspect patterns while in Virgo, reminding us that we can only love others as much as we love ourselves. She'll be in Virgo until August 15, when she moves into Libra, a much happier place for her. Thursday, July 22nd. The waxing moon in Capricorn explores healing in innovative ways today. Be committed to not giving up. At 5:44 a.m., Venus in Virgo opposes Jupiter in Pisces. They're both at 0 degrees 36 minutes. Normally, any transit between Venus and Jupiter is a reason to celebrate. However, this aspect tells us that more does not always mean better. Venus in Virgo is not demonstrative of her emotions and tends to hold her feelings close. But she may indeed shed a few tears today if she overdoes it and causes herself pain in the process. This is not a transit to work out extra hard, clean the house with a toothbrush for 10 hours, or do a water fast. Instead, take the time to reflect inward, journal, create art, dance, sing, sit in a bathtub, and feel into how you want to show up as a love goddess in your daily life. Let that be the energy you magnify today. Mars is now in the same finger of God with Pluto in Capricorn and Pallas Athena in Pisces that Venus went through last weekend. Are you feeling inspired to take action because it feels fated, like your destiny is counting on you to get you out of this discomfort? Do it. Take the leap of faith into your sovereign power. It is meant to be. The sun enters Leo today at 7:26 p.m. Everything gets a little hotter and a little brighter. Actually, a lot brighter. The sun moves into his happiest place in the sky, the sign of Leo, the sign he rules. Be a brave-hearted lion. Have courage. Be colorful and take this moment to shine. The shadow side of the sun in Leo is, it's all about me and back to me. The full moon will help us balance this energy. The sun also has a finger of God today, but with retrograde Jupiter in Pisces and Vesta in Libra. Any finger of God with Jupiter points to big karmic lessons. Are you sacrificing your authentic dreams for your ego? Can you attune your light so that you can shine in service to a higher purpose versus something that doesn't really serve? If you pay attention and learn these lessons, you can move on. Move up life's proverbial ladder. But if not, you may fall down the chute and have to learn in a different way. Pallas Athena in Pisces sextiles Ceres in Taurus at 9:34 p.m. They're both at 27 degrees, 30 minutes. This is a lovely transit to inspire strategies around creativity, nurturing, and fertility. Retrograde Pallas Athena is rather introspective at the moment. Sit under a tree or the stars and waxing moon to dream up gorgeous creations or make a baby with your lover. Friday, July 23rd is definitely the biggest day of the week because of the full moon. The waxing moon in Capricorn gets caught in the crosshairs of this year's Pluto-Eris square that we all keep talking about. Got the Pluto-Eris square and the Saturn-Uranus square. The moon is feeling the discord around personal sovereignty and wants to join the fight for power. She goes void at 9:34 p.m. conjunct to Pluto in Capricorn. 9:34 a.m. conjunct to Pluto in Capricorn. Not thrilled about being held back or disempowered by the authorities. She doesn't enter Aquarius until 5:12 p.m. So again, this is not a great day to start something new while the moon is void conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, because there's going to be that power dynamic and it's going to feel funky, and that energy will last with whatever you're working on. So try to hold off if you can. When she enters Aquarius, she turns her back on Capricorn to become detached, curious, innovative, quick thinking, and a little shocking and unique. All right, let's get to the full moon beauties. This full moon occurs at 7:36 p.m. when the moon in Aquarius opposes the sun in Leo at 1 degrees 26 minutes of their signs. Sometimes we have to set aside our emotions and get our ego out of the way to fully express our uniqueness. We need to care less about entertaining what other people think about how we shine our light in order to let our true self shine, whatever aspect of self is coming to the surface. This air and fire full moon asks us to release how we're accustomed to showing up and instead give oxygen to our authentic, unique being. In the sign he rules, the sun in Leo is about, well, the sun in Leo. He's about creativity, courage, and leading from the heart, but also about entertainment and ego. On the other hand, the moon in Aquarius is a little detached and very curious. But she is not turned on by the sun's displays for attention. She's more interested in innovation, uniqueness, quirkiness, and doing something different. Doing something that's not just for the sake of doing it, but for making the world a better place. Think Einstein, Aquarius, over Elvis, Leo. The moon asks us to make up our own rules about shining our light and expressing ourselves, and to release old societal paradigms about how we're supposed to be. Where the sun and moon formed a triangle of potential with Jupiter during the June 24th full moon, tonight they form a triangle of potential with Vesta in Libra. Vesta is the focal point, tapping into health, hearth, home, and balancing our resources. She asks us to watch what happens when we get depleted from giving too much of ourselves versus filling our own cup before we help others. You know how you feel when you hide your true self for the sake of others, and how exhausting and depleting it can be to pretend you are someone you're not. The moon also forms a grand trine with Vesta in Libra and Ceres in Taurus. Normally, a grand trine is only one element, just air, just fire, just water, just earth. But Ceres is getting ready to leave earthy Taurus, contributing to a lovely energy around pleasure and nurturing. This grand trine invites new ideas about health, feeling into how we want to nurture ourselves, and brings balance to our relationships. This is a welcome transit with some of the challenging relationship energy out there. Take time to nurture your garden and shared spaces. Adding the sun in Leo to the grand trine forms a kite and brings fire to the pattern. You do you, and don't let other people get in your way from expressing your unique, authentic self. Most especially, not your partner. Don't let your partner get in your way, because they'll only thrive as well when you get to express your true, authentic self. There are a few other important aspects that accompany the full moon and contribute to its urgency to address health, relationships, and expressing our truth. First, Juno and the South Node in Sagittarius are sextile. Remember how they influence the finger of God with Mercury in Cancer over the weekend? This transit speaks to continued issues over boundaries and commitments in intimate relationships. Can you let go without separating? You may have reached your limit, and it's okay to go. This energy is with us for the next few weeks, so you don't have to make any rash decisions. Juno and the South Node in Sagittarius also influence a hammer of Thor and are the focal point there. Mercury in Cancer and Eris in Aries are still scoring each other. If you have not been speaking your truth in intimate partnerships, you will be forced to now. This hammer removes any energy blocks that have kept you silent. As the North Node in Gemini is opposite the South Node in Juno, we get an aspect that doesn't really exist, a hammer of Thor kite, which does not bode well for relationships. Why not? Well, because the North Node is all about the new. The North Node in Gemini says, hey, the old really isn't working. Why do you keep holding on to it? You'll be so much happier if you focus your ideas and communication on your purpose and being of service. Being in a relationship, staying in a relationship that no longer serves, on the other hand, can hold us back from our destiny and who we were born to be. Continue to lead with love, and you can't go wrong. We are also still feeling the energy of the finger of God with Mars, Pluto, and Pallas Athena. The light side of this yod is feeling empowered with strategy to take courageous, heart-filled action. The shadow side is to fight and lash out. There is the potential for some violence anytime Mars and Pluto clash in this way. So, yeah, this is a really intense week, my loves, but we can handle it. We were meant to be here during these turbulent times so that we can help shift the old paradigm out of fear and control to the new world of love and sovereignty. The more we collaborate and use our gifts, the faster we can get there. Likewise, the more we take risks to face our truth head on, the better chance we have of making it through the wormhole in one piece. For more clarity into your own divine astrological blueprint and how it influences your life and health, please book a reading with me on my website at www.divinelyjennifer.com. Of course, it's so helpful if you leave a comment or like this video or audio, depending on if you're watching on my blog or on YouTube or SoundCloud, so that more and more people can have these videos and audios show up on their feed. If they're helpful to you, they're probably going to be helpful to someone else. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and please keep shining your beautiful light. I am sending you so much love. This has been the Juicy Astrology for July 18th through July 24th, 2021, and I'm Divinely Jennifer.